Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lockpot, Belgium's top-rated podcast. Season 7 finale.
Bonus episode.
Good riddance, season 7.
Yes, you promised you'd be here, win or lose. You're here.
I'm here. All right, take it easy, everybody. By the way, I
Please
lost.
keep listening.
I lost, so you guys could turn it off now.
It was a bit of a crazy day, rough day at the end, rough evening.
Yeah, man. It's like the Grim Reaper on election night when you lose. And I know what it feels like because I lost before. And Zach had that Grim Reaper look about him last night. He comes up and he comes haunting up to me and sits right next to me. I'm like, dude, you're like the freaking Grim Reaper. He's like, you got to make that call, man. And I was ready. I told everybody because it was obvious.
That's never an easy position to be in. I've been there, and it's no fun.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be depressed. I don't want you guys crying for me.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. So, stop sending me stuff telling me how great of a mayor I am. I don't really give a crap about being a great mayor right now, okay? So, please stop sending me that stuff. I love everybody out there. I know I'm a great mayor. I was a great mayor yesterday, and I'll be a great mayor today. I know that, and don't tell me that the Hammond residents love me and need me, okay? That doesn't make me feel better. I'm just being honest.
We want the
right?
state of Indiana to need you.
I'd rather just people blow me off and act like they didn't even vote. That's better.
Well, I think, the upside is you had you know what I'm saying? There were a lot of, on the positive side, there were a lot of support. Obviously, you had tens, hundreds of thousands of supporters, a lot of donors, a lot of people that volunteered, a lot of, kids that got involved, and so many people were.
I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you did it too.
But I'm not glad I did it. How about that?
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
glad
fair.
I did it because the people I met were amazing. The great state of Indiana is so beautiful, and it was an honor to do it. And only one person gets to be the Democratic nominee each cycle. And
yeah.
I was that person, and I was the leader of the ticket, and so I feel a sense of responsibility when we fail, and we failed, and it's my fault. So, and I know that the chairman feels the same way, and that's how you're supposed to feel. I was the top of the ticket, and we lost. And I don't necessarily think it was my fault, being honest with you. I feel like if you're a soldier in a field and you're fighting a war and you're with your unit and you're in enemy territory, so you're you're in constant danger and you need help from back home and you call in an airstrike and you're waiting there getting your ass kicked and you're like, bring in the airstrike. And they just don't bring in the support, and you're just out there getting wailed, and they just don't give a shit. They're just sitting there hey, I know you guys are in a forward territory. I know it's dangerous out there. We got to focus on the areas we hold right now. So
you're on your own.
You guys are fucked, right? And we're not even going to send one airplane out there to cover you. Just do your best and hold the fort out there. So basically, if this was a war, which is how I think about, I feel like we were sacrificial lambs. To the Democrats nationally, to the President of the United States, they could give a shit about Tom McDermott, Senate campaign, and if they don't give a shit about me, that filters through the entire ticket. And in races we could have won, like Destiny's race, the Secretary of State. What we did in Indiana is embarrassing. We elected a guy that's probably going to not make it through his term, and then Governor Holcomb will end up picking the next Secretary of State, which, funny enough, will probably end up being Holly again. But tell me that's not going to happen.
It's a scenario.
This guy's got
It's a scenario that could be there.
He's got a serious problem with voting,
irregularities,
AKA Charlie White, right? And we just elected this guy, and if he has to step down because of legal issues, Governor Holcomb will just say, "Okay, Holly, you want to come on back?" So we're going to end up with a Secretary of State we didn't even vote for, and that's the thing that's frustrating because had they helped me, they spent $300 million in Pennsylvania, Kevin. You know that.
That's the total amount that was spent in Pennsylvania,
okay.
Both sides.
So how much did the Dems put in?
I'm sure count half of it, right? I'm
$150 million. So the Democratic Party could have given $1 million to Indiana, and it would have made a huge difference in every race. It would have made a huge difference in the Secretary of State's race. It would have made a huge difference in the treasurer and the auditor race. It would have made a huge difference in my race, but they didn't. And they were just like, sorry, guys, we know you're in hostile territory. We know you're getting pummeled because of us, because we're not doing our job very well in D.C. You're getting beat up for it, Mayor McDermott. That's just too damn bad.
I think, I feel like I could write an op-ed on this about just the kind of failed they don't have a national strategy, and it's just put money in a couple races, and that's all we need to do. And that's the frustrating part for me. I voiced that to Mike Schmuhl, who I think, by the way, is a phenomenal chairman. I think we're really lucky to have Mike as our chairman. And he's been a guest on the show, obviously, several times. And, it's just how do you, you got to have a strategy so that Democratic parties are relevant throughout the country, not just in areas where you think you can win this cycle or this election. And I think that's the most frustrating thing for me because, as you pointed out, Tom, Diego Morales should never be our Secretary of State, yet he's going to be. And I mean, that's what the voters decided, and that's fine, and that we accept that. But to me, it's not even a contest on who should be our Secretary of State, and it's crazy. And then until we figure this out as a state, and you look at the numbers in certain counties and around the state, you shake your head.
So why don't we're going to go through some ads real quick, and this will be the final ads of the season. I want to thank all the sponsors that we're going to go off with on today. We're going to go through some results, get in some more detail. I had some interesting things happen to me yesterday during the day. We'll go through that, talk about a couple other races, and we'll wrap up. So if you guys will hang on for about 3 minutes, we'll be right back. Calumet Brewing. We welcome you to try Michelob Ultra, superior light beer brewed for those who understand that it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Containing only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a 4.2 ABV, Michelob Ultra is a light lager brewed with the perfect balance of hops and wholesome grains, producing a light citrus aroma and a crisp, refreshing finish. Check out our social media for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers, and cheers responsibly.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. Our brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private event like weddings, reunions, or corporate parties. We're conveniently located just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. For more information, check out bywaybrewing.beer. Hold on, I have breaking Byway news.
Oh my God!
Breaking Byway news.
That was quite alliteration. No, breaking Byway news.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe. Wow.
The pasta is back in the hatchet salad.
Whoa!
It's about time.
I didn't know that. Because of hundreds of complaints?
Probably just us bitching on this show.
It helps.
It works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found that if you grind on people on Lockpod, eventually
works.
You might get a free drink out of it.
You know what?
Yeah, we ordered that for lunch when we were,
Yes.
working the polls yesterday, and that was a pleasant surprise.
Well, good work.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, great job getting the victory home for Mayor Tom in your precinct.
Oh, that's Zany's precinct. Thanks. Good job, Zany.
The Ron J. Pressmer Insurance Agency has been located for decades right on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, serving all your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide variety of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Pressmer Agency serves over 1,000 people and businesses in all of Chicagoland and around the Midwest. Call Ron, Ronnie, or Michael at 219-844-0103.
Chris Jones at Properties. Looking to buy your dream home? Chris Jones with at Properties can help. All across Northwest Indiana, it's still a great time to buy, with inventory available spanning all price ranges. And if you're considering a sale, Chris Jones will get your house sold. To reach the #1 brokerage in the Chicagoland area, contact Chris Jones at Chris Jones, the @ properties.com. That's Chris Jones, the @ then the letters atproperties.com.
Cantrell & Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give them a call today and schedule your consultation with somebody who's in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Oh.
Whoa.
Tortillas Nuevo León,
Eli.
hechas con amor, para ti, tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti, tu familia, de todo corazón.
Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Tri Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. We're dedicated to assisting our clients with their systems integration needs. Tri Electronics has the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Tri Electronics today at 800-722-6793.
Lake County Electricians Training Center is seeking applications for the Electrical Apprenticeship Program. If you're a person who enjoys working with your hands in a challenging and ever-changing environment, the Electrical Apprenticeship might be for you. This apprenticeship opportunity provides tuition-free education, along with paid on-the-job training. Successful applicants will be looking to make long-term commitments to their new careers. To learn more about the apprenticeship program, please visit apply, that's apply697.com.
Misprint Printing. This is the final ad of season 7, everybody. Misprint Printing. Thank you. By the way, I think they've been sponsors every season.
Oh, yeah.
Misprint.
Rick's been there.
Misprint specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and under budget. Misprint's experience and technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, on-demand printing, sign solutions, and...
Metal
That's
business
right.
cards.
I'm throwing these things in the garbage after today.
All that hard work.
No more metal business cards. No, I'll keep one. And sign solutions and metal business cards. Rick Baltonsberger and his team have served the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana markets for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations to serve you, in Munster and in Hammond. Thank you, Misprint.
And thank you to all our sponsors for season 7.
I think season 7 was great.
I loved season 7.
Hey, before we get to it, we have a special guest, I hear, right?
Special guest
But
on the
before
line.
we do that, I want to say happy birthday to my beautiful bride, Marissa.
Today?
Today.
Yay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Marissa.
Overshadowed, but in somewhat.
Never.
But not.
Never overshadowed. I
And-
saw your very nice post about your
And
wife.
congratulations
Yes.
on her re-election.
Congratulations to our circuit court judge, Marissa McDonough.
So Marissa, both times she's been elected, there's been something traumatic that happens on the general election.
God, it's
evening.
her then, maybe.
It is the common theme.
She's the Black
It's her
Widow.
birthday.
So, like, obviously, last night during her general election victory, her husband got crushed in a U.S. Senate race, and then 6 years earlier, Donald J. Trump became president of the United States.
Wow.
Jesus.
What's
These
the common
are-
thread here?
Marissa.
Yeah. Right?
Happy birthday, though. She was great yesterday.
Happy birthday, Marissa.
She was awesome yesterday. You want to have? Are we having our special guest on right now, or do you want to?
Who's the special
about
guest?
He's on.
All
Hey, Zach, what's
Zach,
up?
well, good morning.
Hello, is this Tom McDermott? This is the Grim Reaper calling.
That's right.
Grim Reaper.
Can I connect? Oh, there he is.
I did
Okay,
say that to
Hey,
you last
guys.
night. I did say that to you last night.
Better you than me last night, Zach.
Well, I could tell. It was a different type of walk up and sit down. Usually Zach's like, hey, man, what's up? And then this time he comes up and sits like right next to me and looking right at me. He like, I felt his eyes like going into the side of my face. And I'm like, man, you're like the damn Grim Reaper.
Zach,
I knew
I'm
what he
just-
was there for.
I'm just glad we didn't keep to their schedule. We made them call us, so that was good.
What are you talking about? I
Yeah.
thought we handled it like gentlemen.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Well, they called because they obviously wanted to go out and
Yeah, they wanted to. Yeah, it's good. It was fine, and I'm glad you called him and you were very gentlemanly.
he was too.
Yeah.
Todd Young was a gentleman. We had a nice conversation. I wished him well, and I meant it. So
Zach, how about I was going to ask you.
it was weird. That's weird, though. By the way, it was like a date. You guys lined it up so that when I called him, he would pick up.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
Look who walked in.
Wow, they're all
Hey,
coming.
Zach. Dr. Forite walked in.
Wow.
He was down in Indy
Oh,
yesterday.
that's
Michael,
right, all right.
what time did you get back?
I think I saw you on the road.
Did you? Okay.
What's up, man?
Pull up a
Nice
chair,
to see you.
man.
Let the chaos begin.
Thanks. Thanks.
I'm so very proud of you.
Why?
I
season
heard
7
there might be a
started
lot
like
of visitors
this.
there.
Season 7 did start.
Didn't
like
he
this.
walk in? Didn't he? Yeah.
Hey, Zach's on-
Season 7, episode 1. He just walked
Pull
in.
up. Zach's on the line also.
Oh, Zach's a good boy.
Okay, we'll put it on so you can hear it. All right,
Hi,
pull
Zach.
up. Hey.
Hi, Zach.
Hey,
Good morning.
Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm proud of you for what your efforts were
Good morning.
towards this whole thing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
So hold it.
Good
So
morning.
now Zach. So what were we talking?
I was
about
going to ask Zach something just because I wanted to hear. We have election results up here, Zach, but kind of like you and I were talking
Oh my goodness.
last night a little bit. Oh, hey Vera,
Tom, this could get
about
interesting.
just like
Hi, Vera.
statewide stuff and what happened as far as like pickups from the state. Did you have anything like a summary, real quick summary?
Yeah, I was running the control center last night while you guys were driving back home.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, so a few updates. I'm trying to get the full updates now this morning. I was up till about 3 a.m. last night, so excuse me if I'm like all over the place here.
That's all right.
But, so it looks like we're holding, on the State House side in Indiana, obviously on the statewide level, we didn't do great, but on the State House level, we did stay neutral as of this moment right now. Looking at the results, it looks like Victoria Wilburn was a pickup, which
Nice.
is great. We saw
Great.
Victoria on the trail quite a bit.
Yeah,
She did
Tom met
great.
her many times.
Yeah, and then Kyle Miller, who I know Tom met with many times up in near Allen County, also
Yeah,
was
was a pickup.
He's good.
Fantastic.
He's really
Wow.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, I do have to report, in my Grim Reaper style here, that we did lose, unfortunately, Terry Austin, longtime incredible representative in Anderson, Indiana, and Rita Fleming down in New Albany as well.
Man. They're both great.
Yeah.
It was a tough cycle, man. I'll be honest. Like, Zach, obviously, I was, I think we were all a little shocked when it hit us in, like, July that we weren't going to get any help from Washington, D.C. The thing that really got me was they said, do a poll, and if it's close, call us. So we did a poll, and it was close. So we called them, and they said, all right, we'll talk to you later.
And they haven't called since.
We're still waiting, actually. Thanks for letting us know the poll.
Well, I think it's, again, like, I know we've been kind of ripping on polls a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day,
Was it even close?
Was it even close, right? I mean, like, is polling... I mean, Zach, that's something, we talked about that, and I know Tom and I talked about that a lot at the congressional race. The final poll was a lot different than the result, and then here we have a poll that shows it's close, and
right. It showed Todd Young. Well, the thing I think it showed, I was in the same ballpark the poll said.
I love that you're eating it. That was great.
Yeah. Tom just like, give me. He's gonna eat every one of those. Yeah.
Give me this donut.
Yeah, but are polls accurate? I know myself.
Hi, Vera.
Hi, how
are
you?
Vera
Yes,
Maluznek,
hello.
who also walked in.
Good morning. Yes. I know myself. Sometimes I kind of like to fool around on those polls.
But, okay, I agree with you. So you're not always honest.
I'm not always honest.
Right? I'm not either, by the way.
Yep.
Okay?
So multiply that by everyone in the poll.
Right.
Wow.
But, like, so what the poll didn't show, I think it showed where I was, but it had Todd Young way under where he was. Because he did almost 60% of the vote.
Yeah.
And the poll didn't show that. And if the poll showed that, I think we probably approached it differently.
Well, something interesting happened, right? So we did our poll in late August. We were kind of in the midst of a lot of people feeling very passionate and feeling very raw about things that were happening on a national level. And I'm not going to say that people, didn't stand up and do something about it. I think a lot of people did, but at the same time, we saw this nationally. As the campaign goes on and people get pounded away and chipped away at, right, and worn down by negative ads and just the environment of politics nationally these days, where you don't feel good about anything, really, right? You go back to your corner. And we see that happen a lot every single year. We see people who say they're independents, they go back to the party they usually support.
Which is exactly what Todd Young's campaign said that was going to happen. They said, don't worry, they're all going to come home.
Right.
They did say that.
Yeah, they're all going to come home.
I mean, it's a pessimistic view, I guess, in a way. I mean, optimistic for them in that party, right? But a pessimistic view of, like, politics as a whole, of just, like, it doesn't really matter what we do or what we say or what happens.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Because we're going to push them back into their corner either way. By the end of this, they're going to say, screw everybody. I'm going to vote the way I always vote.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing. You feel like your messaging, is the messaging getting through and does it matter? Or does everybody just go back to their corners?
I love James Seniak, but his debate performance, he didn't do well. I mean, and I love James. We wanted James to do well. And I think that one of the things that didn't help my campaign was I think most people after the debate were locking in on either Todd or me. And we were hoping that the Republicans would reject Todd and they would go with James. That's what we were hoping.
Yeah, at least more than they did, right? He ended up at 3, and we were hoping for more like 8, 9.
We were saying if he ends up at like 7, 8,
Yeah, like a rainwater turnout,
Right.
Yeah,
and by the way, that's not far-fetched to think. It just happened.
Yeah. Right. I mean, but then you go back and you think, was rainwater an anomaly because it was the pandemic and everyone was pissed at Holcomb, or was it like, or because if libertarians keep going around 3, which is what they usually do, or, it's a question, I guess, for another election. But
if people were deciding after the debate, I would think that he wouldn't have done very well.
Agree.
Yeah, Zach.
That's true. That is.
Yeah. Sorry for stepping on you guys. Difficult to keep up. But, and then you got to give it to, you do have to give it to Todd Young's campaign and his team. And Kevin and I talked about this a lot. It's, when we did the polling, Todd Young had a lot of unfavorables, right? We had him, I think it was 26-46 underwater on approval versus disapproval, right? So at that moment in time, that snapshot in time, a lot of Republicans weren't happy with Todd Young. Well, they figured out how to get happy with him, right? And a lot of that has to do with Todd Young's strategy, I think, honestly, right? Of he did run a very positive campaign about himself, and didn't feel the need to, step into any of these other issues, which, I have two feelings about it, right? It's like, well, you hate to see that the guy won't step up and address some of these things in a way that I think was satisfying to voters, but he kept his own message. He understood the demographics of Indiana were that he could probably get away with that, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He was
almost
able
like
to run ads about microchips and about being
that's
a Marine,
right.
and it worked.
That's
It's
right.
a
Don't
shame.
don't answer questions directly, and I think I can skate by because of the way Indiana's set up.
Yeah.
From a heavy Republican standpoint, and it worked. And so you're right, Zach. I mean, they stuck to their strategy, and it worked. And
Yeah, and it's sort of hard to get depressed about seeing a guy like Todd Young, I guess, that type of Republican get reelected. It's like, okay, well, I can kind of see that, I guess. The depressing stuff is when you get into Diego Morales.
Yeah.
It's like, is that where we are? Okay, so
Obviously it
now
is.
we really got to think. How do we break through? How
That's
do we
right.
how do we change this?
that's right.
Veer, do you have something?
I was going to say, if somebody like Diego Morales can get elected, that's telling me that people are not paying attention to the person and their
I agree with
character.
you.
And
Just
their
voting party.
It's just the party votes.
You're right. I mean, honestly, Diego has there's a good chance he doesn't make it through his 4-year term. And if he doesn't make it through his 4-year term, Governor Holcomb gets to pick the Secretary of State.
And maybe that's the way. Maybe that was the message to the party, faithful.
I
like,
think
hey,
that's exactly
if,
what it was, Kevin.
If let's just get this guy in, and don't worry, we control the seat, and we'll figure out who's going to
That's
come
right.
next if he doesn't make it.
Because who appoints?
Yeah,
The
the governor. And he's
Right.
he's not a perfect candidate, but just put him in there, and at least we control
At
it.
least the party controls
Right.
it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yep.
By the way, what was nice yesterday?
Week.
What was nice yesterday, first off, everybody came down. Vera was down there. Dr. Mike was down there. I want to say thank you guys.
You're Thomas.
Yeah.
A lot of people came down.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of people-
a lot of
trek
people were down there. And then, so I'm in the room. I have we call it the Rockstar Suite. I was in there only like 2 hours and I took off. And then the doors knocked and I see Vesmar with his camera in there and I'm like, okay, he must be just like for posterity purposes. He wants to show like this is what Tom looked like. And so I didn't even think twice, I'll be honest with you, when John walked in with the camera. Right, John? Like you do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
he's always on camera with you. At
You
certain
never know when you're
moments.
not on camera.
Right. When John has shots of me where I'm just being totally normal and I'm not even paying attention to him, which I think is what you're going for, right, John?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
candidates.
Right.
Yeah.
So John comes in, he's got his camera on, and I'm like, whatever. It's election day, so I
Right.
don't even think twice about it. And then the door knocks. I go over and pull it open, and it's like I see one of my Navy buddies there. I haven't seen this guy. I've seen Che probably. I
2020 election. We
2020
went to
election.
DC, yeah.
So I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Right.
But I see him all the time on Facebook and all that. I know exactly what he looks like now. So I'm like, hey, Che, what's up? And then it was like, and then he's in a group of like 7 of my Navy buddies that all like
was
flew in and
Flew
drove
in,
in from
drove in.
Texas,
That's
from
amazing.
Utah, from Chicago, from Washington, D.C., and they were all there for me. And I was so like stunned. John had us all on
Marty.
tape.
Yeah,
Marty was there. Marty
there.
from
Marty
Texas,
Wise was
yeah.
there. Greg. I mean,
Greg.
the backstory to that is Che got a hold of me.
There they are right there.
Yeah, that's a
So
great
that's
picture.
so Jason Wedlick is the guy on the left. Jason's from Utah, and then that's Che. Che's from Washington D.C. He runs restaurants. Jason's in real estate. We were all enlisted, by the way. We all served together. So the guy on my right arm to your left is Tim Nuri. He's from Texas also. He was like my little brother on the submarine. Greg Poulos is the guy on my left arm. He's to my right. Greg was like my brother in the Navy. All these guys were like my brother. It doesn't even do it justice to say that. And then that's Trey. So I got Che and Trey. Trey's from DC area also. And then that's KJ next to Trey in the blue suit. And then Marty Wise, the guy all the way to the right. He comes to Fest all the time, and he grew hippie hair.
Yeah,
Since I
couldn't do that in the
yes,
Navy.
yes.
He comes up, I'm like, holy crap, I've never seen Marty with like long curly hair like
And
that.
no facial stuff.
No, dude. Yeah, that's right. He had a beard last time, right?
He
Yeah.
was great, man. In his Adidas shoes.
And I just,
Dude,
and
Marty's total like hippie, Texas hippie.
these are all submariners that served with Tom, and I just think a couple things about this. One, it was a really good kind of keep your mind off things for Tom. I mean,
Yeah.
he was able to spend 2-3 straight hours with these guys, and they just really caught up. And I think that obviously they love Tom, and he loves them, and it was a really good surprise for Tom. And the backstory on that is Che got a hold of me about 2 months ago, and we were
You guys met each other in D.C. I
yeah.
didn't realize that,
So they had all my contact. A couple of the guys do, and we stayed in touch over the last couple months. And I enlisted Marissa and a couple other people just to know this was happening. And if you saw Tom yesterday after the podcast, you knew that he really wasn't ready to take anybody's suggestions about where he was supposed to be.
So it was so funny because like my election day, I have a election day for me is like, this is my chill day because it's election night. That's the night I have to be ready, right?
Sure.
I'm going to either have to give a big speech or a concession speech, and I have to be money because I'm going to run into people. So like on election day, I'm like, screw you guys.
So after the show yesterday, we said,
What's that voice?
My Siri turned on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that.
so
Yeah.
after the show yesterday, that my idea was, you know what, Tom, it's rare that he'll turn down a TV interview because he likes to get his message out, and he feels that that's a easy way not to spend money and get a good message out. So I said, Tom, they're doing a live shoot from your room at 3:00 because that was the time I knew the guys were going to be in town. We were going to get them up to the room. And he basically said, Kevin, I'm not listening to you today. I'm not going down there when you want me to go down
was
there.
dead serious,
I'm
too.
going to go down there. And so I'm like,
Because I'm like, dude, I have a plan. My plan is to do nothing on election day. I'm going to get to Indianapolis right before the polls close, and I'm going to like watch the results come in. And if it's bad, I'm going to drive home. So I'm like in my head, I'm like,
Wait,
I'm done doing what you guys tell me to do.
Chill, and he
yeah,
wanted you
and
to
so the
work.
message keeps coming. Like, so then John tried to get him, Zach tried to get him. He's basically told everybody F off, and then Marissa texts me at like 10:00, and she's like, Kevin, this isn't working. I got to tell him it's not working. He's pissed. He's MFing you here at the house.
She wasn't supposed to tell you that.
What else is new?
And I know. I was like, don't worry. I assumed that was happening. And then, and she's like,
I'm
all right.
like, in
And
my head,
I
I'm
called
like,
Che.
these fucking guys have been telling me what to do for the last 14
No
months.
wash.
I'm done. Right? I'm done. Like,
My
it's election day. I can do whatever I want today.
And that
Screw
just
you
made me
guys.
laugh when she said that, by the way. So then I called Che, and I was like, Che, Marissa's got to we got to do something. He's like, listen, we're on the road. We're going to be there at 1:30. We're going to be there too. We'll be there. Don't give up the surprise. And he said, just tell Marissa he's going to have something down there or whatever. And Marissa basically told him, Tom, listen, you're going to feel like a total a-hole if you don't show up.
She literally...
Trust me.
You
need to be down there.
She's like, you have to be there. If you're not there, you're going to feel like a total jerk.
I'm just glad that didn't like tip you off to anything.
No, you know what
Which
I
was
thought?
great.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, Vera, Forsyth,
Yeah,
Phil, my brothers,
You-
right? And I'm like,
My
we
dad.
really had to do this at 3:00, right? We really had to get my family together in India. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I'm not going to be a jerk anymore. It's one more day, but I'm like, I'm going to be so pissed. So I get to the hotel at 3:00 and nothing's going on.
No, you get to the hotel at 2. No, this is great. Just to be a total dick to me
is so
yesterday. It's like 2:40, and I get a text from him. He goes, "Okay, it's 3:00. I'm here."
I'm here. What's going on? I'm in the hotel room by myself. It's 3:00.
Yeah.
No,
What's going on?
And I text him
congratulations,
back
right?
and I say, "It's 2:40. Give me a few minutes."
Oh my God, that's so
This was my favorite
Where's the
part.
occasion?
This is my favorite. We're at lunch. Kevin, Bobby, and I. We're just waiting for Tom to get in, and freaking Tom calls Kevin. He's like, "Hey, I'm here. What are you guys doing?" Kevin goes, "Oh, we're at lunch." And Tom goes, I haven't eaten yet either.
He's like, I'm pretty hungry too.
so
I was like, this guy
passive-aggressive.
is so aggravated right now.
I was so pissed at you guys. I'm like, these freaking guys are scheduling me out on election day. It's
And
like
we're just
so
eating
ridiculous.
But it
So
was worth. I hope
ridiculous.
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
I think so too. I think that these 7 men showing up yesterday is such a testament to who you are.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
fact that after 30
That's a good
years,
point, Vera.
yes, and just your tenacity and
Yeah.
your drive and your compassion that you have for people, for your city, for your state, I think speaks volumes.
I think
And-
what a brotherhood you guys have
Yeah.
too. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, those are my brothers, man.
Yeah.
We knew each other when we were like 18. Like,
Yeah.
there's Che and Trey. When they got to the boat, they were literally 18. Che was telling me last night he had to get permission to join the Navy, which means he was 17 when he joined.
Wow.
So like he was a little kid. His name Mike, but we all call him Che. So we called him Mikey when he first got there. He was like a little kid, like literally. And one of his first jobs when you get to the boat is you're a wake up guy, and you go around. That's literally your job, is to wake up the next shift so that
Do
they
you
all
have a bugle when you do that?
no,
Oh,
they do it like this. They come up.
Service.
So like, keep in mind, I'm elevated. I'm up like 6 feet in the air and in your face, and then they like open your curtains a little bit, and then they like shine like a red light on you. And they go, retirement, it's time for watch. And I'm like, okay. And then they leave, and then you go back to sleep. and then they come around like 5 minutes later, retirement, time for watch. A little bit louder. All right. And then they go away. And then, like, one more time, they're like, McDermott, you got to go on watch. And you, like, get out in your underwear, put your stuff on, go eat real quick. You know, you eat, and then you go right on watch.
Did they call you McDermott?
They call me Mutt. You guys learned that yesterday.
We heard that yesterday. Yeah, we heard
That was
a lot
my
yesterday.
Navy
And
nickname.
I think
MUTT, Mutt. That was my nickname for 4 years on the submarine.
I
By the
think
way,
get up
that's
much.
what my Navy friends call me, guys.
I saw that yesterday. I saw that yesterday. Only
That's
Navy
like what I
friends.
love.
Only Navy friends. Get
That's
to call
right.
you
And
that.
like my nickname when in my family was Tombo.
Yeah.
So like the funny thing is, I remember in Lynette's orbit. She was dating one time, and one of her boyfriends gets wind that people call me Tombo.
Because he's been hanging around the family a little bit.
Yeah, and he starts
he's
hearing
like,
people.
oh, I must be part of it. Yeah.
It was so funny. And he's like dating Lynette, and I don't blame him. She's gorgeous and beautiful and lovely. And then like I was in the same event that this person that was dating Lynette was at, and he's like, hey, Tombo, how's it going? Right. And I like gave him like a death stare, dude. I'm like, he never called me that again. I'm like, who the fuck are you to call me Tombo, right?
Lynette broke up with him that day.
Yeah, like, he called me Tombo, and I was like blood dripping from my eyes. I'm looking at him like, you don't call me Tombo.
Right, you didn't.
But what a day yesterday for the guys to see you. And that's the thing, right? They drove in. Obviously, they're all busy. They're professionals. They do all kinds of great
stuff.
stuff.
You guys got to meet my Navy buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So wait, which one is the one in the red coat?
That is Trey.
You're going to have to give Eva his contact information.
Yeah.
He was the hot talk when you guys posted
Really?
this in the poll.
He's a good-looking dude. He's a good-looking dude.
Matchmaking now. At least something great came of this.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey, I saw Phil out in the hallway also. You guys want to
where's
reach
he
out? I think
he left.
Phil in?
Oh, he did?
He
did?
left.
I'm
Said
sorry.
not enough chairs. You guys have a good show.
Okay, that was
Okay.
nice of him.
Sorry,
I appreciate Phil being there. I appreciate all you guys.
And Zach's still on the line, too.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Zach, hey.
Hey, how you guys doing?
The whole time.
What'd you think about the Navy guys, Zach?
Nice to Tom today. He doesn't want to hear that. I was getting thrown off by that.
What's that?
I said I was getting thrown off by everyone being nice to Tom. I thought we weren't supposed to do that.
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to be a jerk to me today. That's right. Hey, Zach, you did a great job.
Kid gloves, baby.
You really did. I mean, did you like my analogy about the soldiers in the field? Because that's what I felt like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's tough because I've been in those party spots where I get that they have to make these calculations. You know what I mean? But when you're there, yeah, you're like, fuck this, right?
Yeah, it hurts.
It's just like, there is an understanding of what's happening, but it's ridiculous, man. I mean, we got to go back to having a new approach to this. Throwing $300 million into one state, and it's ridiculous. It's just absurd amounts of money. It grinds people down. It makes them dislike and distrust politics and the people that are leading them. It's just bad news for everybody.
I feel like a Democrat in Indiana doesn't matter to Joe Biden and National Democrats. That's what I feel like. I feel like, they don't even want to help us. We're trying to win here. Isn't that what the National Democratic Party is all about? We're trying to win in a state that doesn't usually vote our way, and we're getting no assistance at all. Not even a phone call.
Yeah.
1% of the Fetterman budget in Indiana is a game-changing thing for us.
Well, and it should be in not just our state; it should be in the 28 other states. They didn't do anything.
Right, we don't want to win in North and South Dakota anymore, I guess. Right? We don't want to win, in these rural states.
And I mean,
we talked about Kansas for a lot with the abortion thing, right? And so the Kansas Democratic governor, I think, won. Maybe there's an update, but as of I thought she won, right? So. You can win in these red states as a Democrat, but you do have to have some support. I think. I mean, it's or you have to build a movement, which is really freaking hard. But, but it could.
But you started it.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you got to do it, and I said it. Yeah, I think I said it yesterday. It's like it's a top down versus a bottom up strategy, and I think we got to get back into the, way into the local races and build it up from the bottom up, because top down is not working in my opinion nationally, but.
Well, one of the best things we've done, and the mayor's shown this on his Twitter a bunch, his map with all the pins in it.
Yeah.
Something we did that, I'm not going to say like John Gregg didn't do this or something, because I bet he did actually.
Right.
But
yes.
and I know Joe Donnelly visited every one of the 92 counties. But what usually happens in these races with Democrats is we don't go to the places where we don't think we're like going to win, right? Or we're quote unquote welcome maybe so much. And we didn't have any fear of that this year.
I agree.
And it was really interesting to see the way people reacted to Tom when he went into their small towns and he spoke to rooms of 12 people in a town that only had 400, right? And you just they're so happy that you're there and you're listening to them and they feel like they have a voice.
But
with
did it
you.
make a difference?
And
that's the problem.
That adds up. Well, it adds up, right? I mean, I think that this is a long-term issue we got to solve. Whether it's Tom McDermott or whether it's other Democrat or whatever, right? It's like we got to, and I think your efforts there. And by the way, I got to call you out, man. And I know you said this in the heat of the moment. I don't think you meant it at all. and you said you wasted 14 months of your life, right? That's bullshit, man. And
I agree with that.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
You affected people.
You guys are all ganging
so
up on me.
No, I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean,
You've polished,
People
Tom.
positively, man. People freaking believe in you.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
There's no doubt
the
about
love in those rooms as I walked, as we traveled around the state, it was real. It was real.
And it lays the foundation. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you think that, I didn't, it didn't make a difference in this county or that county. I disagree because I think it did. And you said it, Tom, the energy in some of these small county parties, you fed into it. They fed into you. You fed into them. And I think it's there, and it's there not only because of them, but because of what you did. And it only helps going forward. I mean, you might say, this is a low point. The truth is this is probably just the base point, and you go from here.
I agree. I think just getting out there talking to people, all they have to do is meet you. And you may have discussed this already. I might have missed it. But what was the voter turnout in Indiana?
Oh, it was lower than 18.
Lower than 18.
Well,
So
18, they spent a bunch of money in.
Yeah,
Indiana,
I agree.
right.
I agree.
The individuals that stood in line to meet you after everything was said and done and after you had conceded, I was blown away by the folks that waited to say hi to you.
That was nice.
It was totally beautiful.
I was trying not to cry last night.
It did make a difference, Tom. They were crying with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
And
I
these
was
folks
like,
were
trying
standing
so hard.
there to tell you how proud they were.
But you know what's
you
crazy? I was sitting there and I was good, and then somebody said, I forgot. I think it was Pastor
Brooks.
Pastor Brooks.
Yeah.
He got me going, man, because he was like, "I'm so proud of you. Did such a good job," and I literally just started bawling. I was trying so hard not to, and then like people were interviewing me, and I was in a fog. And I remember one lady interviewed me, and I said something about if I was she goes, "Are you going to keep on running?" And I was like, "Well, it's like if you're a used car salesman and you don't sell very many cars, you don't become a used car salesman anymore." And literally, I don't know, it could have been, NBC, national. She was shocked, holy shit. I've never heard a politician say that before.
What am I going to say? What am I going to ask next?
Yeah, right? You got gold right there. You got anything else? Yeah, I suck. Okay.
There was a huge press presence, too, press row. And
for the concession.
And Lindsay did a great job.
I was surprised how many people stuck.
You didn't go Herschel Walker on him where you're talking about cows over the fence.
No,
okay?
no. It wasn't that
No,
bad.
but yeah, imagine, guy, paint the picture for everyone. It's a bit of a cattle call with interviews
Yes.
afterwards, Tom. You're going from one to the next to
Well,
the next.
what shocked me is, so we're in the room and everybody's like, "You ready to do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I didn't really know what I was going to say. I knew I just wanted to get across, thank you. I want to get behind Todd Young and support him. And I told him that.
You're
I said,
gracious.
when I talked to Senator Young, I said, "You're not going to have any problems from Tom McDermott for the next 6 years." And I mean that. He's the guy. He beat me. It's clear. God bless you. I'm going to do everything I can to support you. So when I was giving that speech, that's one thing. I just wanted to be gracious and not like Donald Trump when he lost. I wanted to be a badass role model for
And
people
it was
that
obvious.
lose
You
election.
did.
That's
You
what
did
I
it.
was trying to do. It's it hurt. God damn, it hurt. And I was freaking balling right after. So obviously it hurt, but I was just I just want to get this out and be a pro. So Indiana, the Hoosiers could look to me and say, in defeat, he was very gracious, and that's what I was trying to get across.
Oh, you accomplished that.
So
You're a gentleman, Tom.
14 months on the road, what did you learn?
We have a great party, and we have great people, and I learned a lot about the National Party. I mean, honestly, I think I'm wiser as a Democrat because I realize we're sort of second-class citizens. I'm definitely a second-class citizen, and I thought, honestly, naively thought that I was an important Democrat, that people respected me in D.C., and I've learned otherwise. So, I'm wiser. And quite frankly, when Joe Biden calls back, when he's running for re-election, yeah, he's probably should skip my number.
So
he should probably skip because I'm going to be going against him if there's a primary.
Locally.
If there's a primary and Joe Biden's running against somebody in the Democratic Party, I'm going to be with the other person. If it's Beto, if it's Governor Newsom, I'm going to be with them in the primary against the president of the United States.
Is that a breaking news
Was that
button?
breaking news?
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm telling you straight up, I don't care what the conditions are. I don't think Joe Biden should run for re-election.
I believe that.
I don't think he's doing a good job nationally as far as a party leader. I just don't. Kevin's
Let him move on.
By the way,
Kevin's
the campaign's
looking
on.
down.
Kevin's squirming.
Kevin's squirming.
No, because
just
I have mixed feelings about it myself. I mean, I guess I'm squirming because I'm running it through my brain. I mean, I don't like to hear
kinda
Tom
early.
say that,
Yeah.
but I mean that doesn't mean that I don't feel.
Why would I think
but part
otherwise?
of that, I don't feel that way. I mean, I guess partly I feel that way too. I just don't know where I'm at it. And I understand why you feel that way.
But I think
I
you
get
can
it.
process that as well. So what would you do differently if you were to run another statewide campaign?
I would have
Get a new campaign manager.
No, Zach, you're the bad man.
Nope. My
I
team.
think Dr. Mike's sitting here waiting for that job.
My team.
Yes, no, sir. I'll stand next to Zach.
I wouldn't change a thing, honestly. I think we ran a great race. I
Yep.
think,
Okay.
I do too.
and quite frankly, an opportunity presented itself we thought we could capitalize on something that was hot nationally. I mean, obviously, I felt strongly about the choice issue anyway. that appeared to be the issue that, was going to be a game changer, and we embraced it wholeheartedly. And I'm glad I did, and I feel that way, and I'm going to keep fighting for women in a different capacity. But, that was the opportunity to try to turn the race around. We went all in on it. I wouldn't change a thing. Right, Zach?
I agree. And by the way, I mean, there were forces, behind us that were saying, hey, Mayor Tom, maybe chill on some of this.
Don't even say the word abortion.
You don't have to be so strong on this issue.
Don't even say the word
for these women right here.
Well, I'm sorry to hear
this
that.
is a great issue for us, and that's what I love about Tom. He said, no, this is really important. I'm going to say it whether you think it's going to help.
I also talked about gay marriage just about every speech, and they was definitely telling me not to talk about that, and I still did it because I feel that way. It's like I'm not full of shit.
That's who you are.
Right? I mean, and by the way, they are going to go after same-sex marriage, and I was,
And
the canary in the coal mine, trying to show everybody this is what's coming next.
You haven't just grabbed issues to take for yourself. These are how you feel.
Yeah.
And you should still go that route. You've developed yourself over the last 14 months, and you're so strong and polished that this isn't the last time we're seeing you.
I think that's the thing I thought about a lot is that, one of the things that we accomplished, and especially, obviously, Tom, you accomplished, and as a team, the campaign accomplished was people know who Tom McDermott is in the state of Indiana.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Because to me, the party, and this is no offense to anybody else who's run in the past or anything like that, I just think the party at this moment needs to know there's somebody there that has fight in them and that will fight for them. And we all know about Tom, and we know that's what Tom is about. And so to me, getting Tom's message finally out throughout the state of Indiana, which we've talked about for 20 years and how important that is, that happened.
It happened. Now, forget about Washington. Stay Indiana. Okay? If you're recognized, by how many people recognized his name, Kevin?
Many millions.
Hundreds of
millions. Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of
millions.
thousands.
Well, 700,000 voted for me.
700,000.
There you go.
Millions.
Millions know who you are.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
millions.
Millions.
And you
Did
can't discount
Millions.
that,
All I
Tom.
wanted
That
to
didn't
add
come
was
from nothing.
Those
That's right.
issues are important to me, and I do want to hear about them. I do care about inflation as well. I do care about the gas pump, but I also know that those prices, they go up, they
That's
go
right.
down. I've
That's
waited
right.
in line for gas,
That's right.
during a certain point of my time. I've also paid $1.50 for a gallon of gas.
Right.
I know it changes.
You're right.
And it's not
That
this
was my
election
speech.
that was going to change. Yeah.
That was my
And you're
speech.
right on that
Yeah.
issue.
I was.
That's right.
I was like, inflation is a cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
SB1 is permanent. And
That's right.
it didn't resonate, obviously. So,
Yeah.
obviously, anyway.
All right.
I just
gonna
want to say thanks to Zach. And Zach, our team was awesome. I wouldn't change a thing. Our strategy was good. We did what we had to do. And I could hold my head high. I'm hurting right now, but I'll be all right. I'll bounce back.
You're resilient,
Yep.
Thomas.
But isn't Zach
Our
great?
team
Mike?
was awesome.
Zach's great.
And we're
Zach is great.
Kevin started off as campaign manager, and Kevin picked a freaking great campaign manager to take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the other bonuses of the campaign was just meeting such great people like Zach and like Leandre and like Katie, and I mean, we knew some of
Lindsay.
them in the past, but now we really got to know them. Lindsay and just on and on and on and on. You can go right down the line. Ariel. And so that's one thing. Another great thing that's come of this is that we've got really good campaign folks now that we are very good and tight with throughout the state.
Yeah.
And they're younger than us.
Yes, and more
energetic.
energy.
And
Much
so
more
if
energy.
you're looking to do something like this again, you've got the right crew
know
assembled.
yes, they'll be a little older, but they won't be
But
that
he's
old.
wiser.
Yeah, if Zach wants to run
But he's wiser.
another campaign with me.
Zach's got the energy to do it.
That's right.
Zach's like, I think I'm done with McDermott.
I think I
No.
can handle it. No, I can handle it.
I know. Zach and I told each other last night.
Grim Reaper?
If I go, he was a Grim Reaper last night.
Yeah.
By the way, you were burning a hole in the side of my head when you sat next to me. I knew you were up to something. He literally sat right next to my lap and looked right at me. I'm like, dude, I know what you're going to tell me. It was like,
Let's get this over
I'm
with.
like, it's a freaking Grim Reaper, man.
Yeah.
The roughest part is it just hit us so fast.
Yeah.
I think we were all sitting there looking at numbers, and we're like, man, we look all right in Hamilton. We look okay in some of these spots that we
Allen.
want to look okay in. And there's no Marion vote in, and there's no Lake vote in yet.
And they were already
the
getting
news
ready to
is
call
like,
it.
and the news is like, check mark, Todd
Right.
Young. And we're
Right.
just like,
Well,
wait,
and it's-
how'd they do that?
right now?
It's similar to Joe Donnelly's race in the sense that like there's like death by these small counties were just we were
right.
we were just losing.
It was like
so-
pockets of hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kept waiting
Yeah.
for those pockets.
But we gotta turn that. We will.
Yeah.
We will.
All right,
So,
guys. I
wrap it
appreciate
up. Wrap it up.
Thanks, Zach, for doing a great job. Appreciate
All right.
you. And thanks for
Zach, it
thanks
was
for
great.
appearing on Lockpod during season 7 multiple times. And
Yes, sir.
good to see you, bud.
Happy to be here.
Thanks.
I look forward to working with you again, Zach.
And thanks to Phil
Thanks,
Talon.
Dr.
Yeah,
Mike.
man. Yeah, man.
Thank you for
Thanks to
getting this
Phil
wallet.
Talon, who attempted to come in the studio and realized we were jam-packed today. Appreciate you, Phil Talon, and sorry that I didn't win.
Everybody who supported you,
Right.
Tom.
Hey, Tom,
So,
could I mention
I think
something?
Yeah, please.
One thing I've been thinking about was one thing Mike Schmull said when he introduced you last night was something to the effect of it doesn't take much of a person to go down an easy road,
Right.
but it takes a really strong person to go down a road he knows is going to be tough from the get-go.
Yep.
And that's one thing I noticed in you, and I'm sure a lot of us did the past 14 months, was watching you grow, observing you grow into a national level quality candidate. And one place it hit me at was a fundraiser at Briar Ridge. You gave a speech to everyone, and I remember turning to Phil like, holy shit, that was amazing. So I agree with Kevin. I agree with Forright, Vera. This is just the beginning, Tom. I mean, you
Jill doesn't feel that way?
Jill said 2
I'm
words
choked
this
up.
show.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I love you guys. You guys are the best. And by the way, I
You're the
think
best, Tom.
season 7 of Lockpod was the best season.
Wow. We just
I
keep
do.
getting better. I guess that means we have to do a season 8.
We had good material the whole season. The season was all about the race.
Yeah.
It really
It
was.
made it easy.
So, yeah, I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about in season 8.
Good question.
We're going to retool. We'll be back in the holidays, right?
Yeah, after the holidays. We'll see you
In that
New Year.
ballpark. So be looking for Lockpod, our logo, but we're going on a break. I got to go buy 2 cars because I just lost another race. So
driveway's already
I'm
busy.
gonna be like Forright, man. I'm gonna have to like Forright's got like how many cars do you have, dude?
I don't know.
Too many.
I don't know.
One right here. One outside. One outside.
I
Just a
don't know.
just a clunker.
Many.
One outside.
So anyway,
Tom, I'm so proud of you, man.
thanks, brother. I appreciate you too, man. Thanks,
know,
Dr.
it's-
Mike. Thank you, Vera, for being a special guest with Dr. Mike.
Constant
Pleasure.
energy from you, Thomas.
And Jill, thank you for a great season. We brought it this year, and good to see you back for season 8.
Locomotive, baby. Constant drive.
Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you to all
You
the
ain't
Vez.
slow. It
the
takes
viewers.
a long time
Jay
to
Vez.
stop a locomotive.
Jay Vez, I think we've advanced our technological capabilities at Lockpod in season 7.
Well, we got the soundboard set up.
There's
got the soundboard.
5
Oh, that's
buttons
awesome.
on here. This is
2 of them are
exciting.
programmed. We got
3.
banjo.
5?
5
Four.
are programmed.
5.
What?
We have
Good job.
10 more we could program.
Wow.
See, so we gave you 4 sounds in season 7.
and Twitter, live on Twitter.
Live on Twitter. Yeah.
Wait till we get YouTube
International,
Wow.
baby.
There you
We're all
go.
over. Belgium.
They love seeing your face too, Kev.
I don't
if
know about
nobody
that.
thank Kevin.
I don't know
Kevin's
about
that.
like the
I'm about to.
quiet
Yeah.
guy in the back. He's
Kevin did a
always-
great job.
Yeah, he just works tirelessly.
Kevin's one of the guys that talked me into this, and I still love him. That's what
We all love Kev.
Yeah, Kevin was one of the early, not even one of. It was the first day we went out and had a conversation with Joe Donnelly about it. Kevin was there with me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
there. I was there.
it was hot out, and then I was campaigning when it was cold out, and then I was campaigning when it was hot out again, and now it's cold again. That's how
It
long
is.
I've been doing this.
That's right.
Wow.
Right. So I've been
Cycles.
doing it a
From
long
the
time.
beginning.
But Kevin probably put on 30,000 miles on his car alone during this. So I want to say thanks, Kev. You did a great job.
Always, man. Whatever
Even
you
though,
need.
you know what, honestly, we're taking big swings and we missed twice
Mm-hmm.
as a team, but we're taking big swings. It's not like I'm running for freaking dog catcher.
You are
No.
not.
I'm running for
And
U.S.
you keep
Senate.
learning something along the way, don't
Yeah.
you?
And it's
Yeah.
good for the party to have Tom McDermott.
Hundreds of thousands voted for Tom.
Think about that. Almost
Yes.
a million.
Million
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's
Third time's
That's
the
nothing to
charm.
sneeze at.
Third time's the charm.
Do you feel the love?
Yes.
No, I definitely feel the love. No doubt. I know I have supporters out there. And I
Good.
know my supporters understand that when I give a speech right after it says I couldn't run for freaking, I couldn't sell a used car right now, I know they understand I was just upset. And that's
They'd
who I
still
am.
stand in
If you
line.
know
I
Tom,
did. I
if
don't
you
know what
Tom,
media
you know
outlet-
that. Don't,
That was-
don't
when
take
you
his
hear
first
this
message.
Yeah, when you hear this story, just realize it was literally right after I found out I lost. And she's like, "Are you going to keep running?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't sell a used car. If I can't sell a used car, why would you be a used car salesman?"
Oh,
right?
my God.
And then Lindsay was sitting there. She's like, "Don't use that analogy again." It's like,
Because you had a mega
Agreed.
store. You had a mega store that just didn't get one sale.
that's right.
Hey, and thanks to our viewers, too. Like,
Thank you,
across the
viewers.
platforms
Yes,
we're live
thank
on
you.
today, we had over
Everybody.
200 viewers most of the time.
No, live viewers.
All around the
Live
state.
viewers.
All around the
Yeah.
state and beyond.
Yeah.
And we do Lockpod. We have 185 episodes. My tracker watched all of them. So
Poor
like, if
kid.
he could do it, you
Bless
could do it too. So we have plenty of material out there for you, and we will be back for season 8. We are Indiana's most dangerous podcast for a reason, right?
What's
it
next
was
for
a threat.
Tom, baby?
It was a threat for the U.S. Senate. That's going to be season 8.
That's it.
Oh,
What's
I love
next?
it.
What's
I'm
next
running
for Tom?
I'm running for dog catcher.
All right.
No, you got. Although a
I'll
couple
give you
of
a
them
good
are
shot at
retiring.
that.
Really?
A couple of the girls
I'm
are
on that.
retiring.
I'm
yes.
on it.
It's true.
So, Thanks everybody for listening to Lockpod. We're Belgium's top-rated podcast for a reason. Now you know why.
You're the
So-
best, Tom.
See you in season 8. We'll be back in the holidays. So enjoy your holidays. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support.
Right
We will
after.
be back. Lockpod is out for the season. See you guys in season 8. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Thomas.